you doing? Hey, today I'm working on the running boards for the green weenie right over there, and these are the running boards. There's some Bondo on them, so I'm removing the Bondo. My dad was going to finish these up really nice, and right now I just want to get them all dialed in and kind of going towards the new look and removing some of the Bondo that was making everything nice and smooth. And while I'm doing that, I ran into a little something right here on the end of it. You can see right there. It was cracked and pulled apart, so I had to bend out some of the sheet metal. Actually, spent a lot of time pounding and beating and prying and moving, but I think I've got it dialed in now to the point that I can run a bead on it. I'm going to do a couple of test fits and see what it looks like. And then if everything looks good, then I'll go ahead and run some, not bead, but I'll run some tacks on it and see how that works out. And then I'll keep sanding it down. And what I'm going to be doing today is, when I get that done, is putting some of the Eastwood rust converter on it, get everything protected and taken care of. So I'll be taking care of that today as long as I can get everything done. I'm going to weld on the back here. It's pretty thin, the sheet metal here, so I've got a washer I'll be welding into the back right here. So just a couple little tacks, put that washer and give it some support. And this is where it goes into the back fender, this back piece. And then here's the second running board right here. I haven't had a chance to check into these, but they look okay. I mean, a little bit, but not that bad. You know, I might run a little tack right there on that one. And then this is the same side here, and this one looks like it has some stuff too that I'm gonna have to take care of. So I'm gonna bend this guy back. See how it's pushed in right there? You can see some of the light coming through. So I'll remove this Bondo, bring this guy back, and give him a couple test fits, and I might sand down everything else and get the rust preventative on it, and then just spend some time working on these guys at a later date. So based on the amount of time I have for Thanksgiving vacation, I think that's what, going in retrospect, we'll end up doing. But this next little video, I'll pull this guy over and show you guys what it looks like, put the running board on the side here. Okay, so here's the running board. I went ahead and carried it over here and put it on. Before it was scratching right here, so now it looks like I just need to bend the center section back a little bit. So once I get the washer tacked into it, then I'll bend that back. But it looks like it's gonna do pretty well. I've got you can see right here, I've got the bolt holes lined up, pushing it in. So that's what it'll look like. The front's looking pretty good. I've been able to remove all of the yellow down through here. Like I've said before, I have the replacement metal that'll go right in here. I'm going to try to cut it so that I still have some of the original green. I've got a lot of, I don't know, we'll see how far those go. I think they only go to right about here. So we'll see, but if I can zip it, you know, right down below here, that'd be pretty cool. And then, well, I'll have to bend this guy back. I'll wait to do this front part right here until I get the new pieces on. It looks like this is going to have to be bent back a little way. See how it's digging in right there? Better views up here. So see how it's kind of worn its way in here, so I'll have to take this edge and move it back. But that's what the green weenie looks like with one of the running boards on. Someday, I hope, we can get a Ford, or not a Ford, but a Mustang 2. Well, I guess there's Mustang 2 design type front end in, and it'd be really cool if we could do the no limit front suspension and no limit rear. My brother had an identical one of these, and he bought the no limit rear for it, and it's super cool. I'd like to get the no limit, I don't know if they call it a fat bar or forget what it's called, but no limit does make a whole front that has a rack and pinion and everything built into it. That would just be slick. And our Lexus, we have a little Lexus SUV over there, and I've got to get new seats for it, so I'm probably gonna find, you can pick them up for a pretty good price. So our old seats, I'll probably take those, and I've been thinking about measuring them, getting them then maybe getting them reupholstered and put in here. I think that'd be pretty cool to have power seats inside and comfy and driving. And I don't know, down the day. You have visions and things you think about, but that's kind of what's going on as far as what we're doing today. So I'll keep going. This is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to grind out or get as much of the rust that's on there off of it, and then I'll use some of this Eastwood rust converter and give it a couple coats while it's nice and warm right now. So I'll knock that out, and then I'll put some of this duplicolored truck bed coating underneath after a couple coats of these. I'll leave those ends undone so that I can do a little welding on them and get that taken care of. So that's where we are right now, and next video I'll probably be doing some more. All right, here, some oil leader, scrubbing, and pressure washer. Wash it off. This is what the bottom of the running boards look like. I think everything looks pretty good. Solid as can be. Just surface rust on here, so that's what that Eastwood rust converter will fix. Bottom here, both sides. This one, the other side, I think, I don't know, a couple months ago I hit it with a little bit of a roll-lock disc, but this one, same thing. Everything seems to look really good, super, super solid. And so now it's time to put the Eastwood on and give it a couple coats. And I'm gonna leave the ends, both of these ends, until later. It looks like I have to do a little welding and a little bit of, not really fabrication, but just, you know, put in some new metal there and fix those ends. But other than that, this one right here, I got dialed in today. I used a little bit of, this is really good. If you haven't used this before, this stuff is great. This rust block by Evaporust. You spray it on, and I had a couple parts covered for years sitting in my garage, and just forms a little barrier, and then when you put water on it, it comes right off. So I put some on the ends just in case, to keep the rust out for right now until I do some welding. I don't want anything really thick that I have, because I won't be able to grind anything out of there. So now that I've got it all kind of dialed in the way that I want it. Okay, so on to the Eastwood. The first coat of the Eastwood rust converter is on. This is what it looks like as it's curing. I'm not worried about the drips or anything, because this is going to be under. No one will ever see this. Plus, I'm going to cover it with that truck bed coating, that rubberized coating. So right now I just want to make sure I have a liberal amount of this on to make sure that any of the rust that is in there, since I can't sandblast this or anything, is taken care of. I'm leaving the ends not covered or put anything on it, because I am going to go ahead and do a little metal work to those guys. So see what's going on here. And then this guy right here, second one, this one had a little more rust than the other one. Like I said, the last video, the previous one that I had the rust block on it. This one, I'm sorry, the rust block. The other one I used a roll-lock disc on. Sorry about that. Morning. It is Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and I am back outside. Gonna do some more work on the green weenie. So let's look at the running boards and see what the Eastwood rust converter did here. Let me switch this around. All right, so this was one coat, and they've dried for 72 hours. Really like this because it gives like a hard shell coating, the Eastwood does. So today I'll be giving it another coat, and I might even give it 3 coats, but we'll go with 2 for right now. So today I'll do that, and then I'm gonna come back over. I was able to, the other day I was out here working away and got the hood just about squared away. I have some primer still to take off. It's real tedious getting into these gill slats right into here, not digging too deep into the paint. So today I'll be using a lot finer grit sandpaper and hopefully taking it off, and hopefully I can, if everything goes well, I'll be able to reveal all the green, and it'll be beautiful. And then I can buff it out and it'll look shiny like all of this. And then on the floorboards, so I'm going to try to take both the doors off today and get those knocked out. I've got a full day that I can work, so I'm pretty excited about that. starting out at 11 o'clock, but should have, you know, a good 5 hours that I can get in. This door, I just have to do the top. I'm going to pop it off the hinges and hopefully get the passenger door all squared away, and then get the driver's side door, pop that off the hinges as well, and get that guy squared away today. That would be fantastic. Wonderful. So we'll see how things work out today, and I'll keep you guys apprised. I move forward and make progress. All right, well, I didn't get the door off at this time, but I was able to get the hood finished up. So it took me a while. I finished up this fender right here, the lower fender. Got some Sonex on it. I believe it's perfect finish. Let me look at it here. Perfect finish, Sonex. So I got that on with a wool pad, and that's the shine that I'm getting here. Not too shabby. Really liking the look. It took a long time to get all of the primer out of these gills. I saved every little bit of green paint that I came across. Just meticulously sanding with 250 and then 350 and then 400. And then I hit it with 1500 after that. And this is what we've got. So turned out it's really neat, if you guys can see that, but there's like gold underneath here. I'll try to find an area in the sunshine so you guys can see. Here you go. Now you can see the sparkle in the gold underneath. I don't know what they did back in the 50s, but that is just really, really neat. I love original character. So the green weenie is getting back to some original character. I love the yellow. My dad put a lot of work into putting the yellow on there, and it's hard to take it off, but I'm grateful that there's green underneath that we can save, and that he's gonna look pretty good when all said and done. So the hood's pretty much done. I still would like to put the copper underneath, but for right now, the VHT rust converter, and that's the honey look of the VHT, and then the darker look here is from the Duplicolor. It turns almost a purple, not really purple, but more of a blackish color. So here's one. Here's the Duplicolor, and then the VHT with the rust converter. So that's what we've got going on. I'm going to pop the store off here in just a second and get working on that guy a little bit. Try to reveal as much as I can today. And then here are the running boards. I put 3 coats of the Eastwood rust converter on it. It's set up pretty good. Let it sit in the sunshine all day. It's supposed to sit now for 72 hours. So I'll probably come back in a day. I'll let it sit at least 24 hours, maybe 2 days. And then I'll paint it. It's got to be warm to shoot that bed liner on it. But I'll tape it all off and do that. Tomorrow what I'll probably do, if I don't get onto the doors, is fix this guy. Just a little buggered up here. And thankfully I have, which side? This guy right here I can use as a template. So the other side has the sheet metal there, and I'll just make a template out of that, out of this guy right here, and then cut off what is on that running board over there. I'm trying to figure out which side is which here. No, it's going to be the other side. It's going to be this one. Let's look here. Okay, so that's the front, and this is the front. This is the passenger side. That's the driver's side. So this is the passenger side. So I'll take this and I'll make a template out of cardboard. And I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to pull everything out of this, grind this guy down right here, and I'm going to make a little piece of metal that comes across here, and then I might drill a hole in it so if water does get in here that it drains out of it instead of just sitting inside there and creating more rust, even though I'll have it covered up. So yeah, so I'll get this guy and I'll make a template out of him and then transfer it over to this side over here. Looks like somebody started welding on it and working on it, and it just a little buggered up a little bit. We'll get it figured out. get it dialed in and ground down, and then move on. So I'll either be working on this tomorrow, or I will have both doors off and get those finished up. All right, so that's the Green Weenie project. Still waiting for, got my hat sideways. Still waiting for Grandpa D to come back from being painted, and I can't move Smokey until I get him back so I can tow Smokey onto the cement pad. So I'll be working on the Green Weenie till I get that done. And yeah, so everything's going good. So end of this video, and we'll get you set up next time. All right, I have the running boards all prepped. I'm going to do one more wipe down. They've got 3 coats of the rust converter on it, and I'm going to shoot the Duplicolor bed liner on them now. So everything's taped off, ready to go. And then I'm also going to, this is the, I don't even know what they call these, but it sits up on the cowl, and you open it up to get fresh air in. I'm going to shoot the bottom of this with that bed liner as well. You won't see it unless it's open, and I hit it with the rust converter, and I'll put a couple more coats on and then shoot that. So here we go, just doing it up. I'll let you guys see what it looks like as I get this done. I cut out a cardboard template here of this good flange on the running board. This is the passenger side. And then I'll take this, I'll transfer it over to sheet metal, and then I will, let's see here. And yeah, I used a kitty litter, or a cat food box. All right, so yeah, so then this is gonna fit right up onto here. And that's what the metal will look like that'll go on it. Like I said, I'll transcribe this onto a piece of metal, the cardboard cutout onto a piece of metal, and then I'll form everything in. I'll use some tapping screws to hold it in place, and then I'll cut a seam along the back side right up here. That's the plan, to cut a seam, and then stitch weld, put little spot welds in and put that in. So you can see it's missing the hole. It was a repair at one time, but just needs to be fixed. So I'll get all of this out here, and then the stuff that's back under here, I'll get most of that taken off. So got that done today. Just little simple victories. So now I can transfer that over to metal, and then got 3 coats of the bed liner on the under part of this vent. It turned out pretty nice. I like it. I like the way that bed liner goes down, and just first coat's just a little tack coat, and then shoot the rest of it. Turns out pretty nice. And then the top part of it, once it's dried, I'll sit it out and let it get a little bit of rust, patina, and then I'll put the VHT on it. And so let's see here, what else is going on today. I got some VHT. I ordered it on Amazon, so I got some, and I sprayed the door. The door was starting to actually get rust coming through there, so I shot it with the VHT, and that'll end up turning this color as it moves forward. And then there were some areas right up in here that the rust had come through on the Duplicolor rust converter, and so I shot it with VHT, and so it should settle it down and give it that nice look. And then this is the vent door, so the vent door will have the same patinaed look, and then we'll sand all this. And the Green Weenie will go to my brother Drew. Might be taking it up there this Christmas, getting it to him, and so we'll just kind of see as things move forward. I really do want to take this front bumper and do a Z-cut, take about 1 inch off of it, bring the bumper back. I'm not a big fan of taking the bumpers off, and I'll explain why. Can you see the top lip right here? It protrudes way out from where the bumper would be. Unless you're going to extend the body molding out, without the bumper, it looks odd, because the front starts to, it's like somebody has a recessed chin or something. It's not coming out as far. It doesn't. So when you keep the bumper on, now if the bumper's at the stock location, it sticks out pretty far. So what I'll do is just go back underneath here, right here, and just cut, you know, a Z cut, take an inch out, move it back. And I think that's gonna definitely take care of everything. And so this notch right here will start right here, and the bumper itself will be right here, which will line up, maybe coming out just a little bit from the front lip of the body molding right here. And there's just a lot of dust on this from sanding and everything, but it's got a really nice look underneath. I'm going to take all these gills out, or the teeth, or whatever you want to call it, out in the center, and buff them out so they look nice and polished like this does up here. And I think it'll look really nice, really nice. I was also thinking about the inside. Instead of, hold on just a sec, I'll lift up the, here we go. Get the hood up. It's yellow in here now, but if we went Wimbledon white, I think it would really, really look nice. And then Ford blue on the engine. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I think it's going to turn out really nice. So that's what's going on with the old green weenie. Slowly moving forward, getting things done one little piece at a time. Oh, and I did watch a video I found on YouTube where a guy he was replacing these bottom sections, and just like I thought, the replacement steel doesn't quite fit the dimensions, and it's off a little bit on the back. And these, if you look right here, the fenders don't come straight down. They come to this point right here, and then they're straight right here, and then they move inward. So I'm only going to cut them pretty low. I'm going to cut like right about here. And the replacement sheet metal is it's about, it said a quarter inch short on the end. So I might have to build out a little piece of it once I line it up with the front here, and then I'll explain all that when I cut and do everything. But yeah, we'll get all this Bondo and all this stuff out of here. I'll cut it right across here, keeping as much of the original green as we can, and then I'll let it rust a little bit, get surface rust on it, shoot it with the VHT, and it will look pretty much the same. So hopefully it'll be pretty seamless when we're done. So that's what's going on. It's been a nice little Saturday to get out and do a little bit of work. Not a lot, but get a little done, and that'll be the end. I'll probably post all of the videos after this video for the week, and then make some more videos as I move forward. Thanks guys for checking everything out. Remember, check out Rusty Wrenches, 55 TwoTen, definitely half rods builds, and check out Montana Garage. All right guys, take care, have a great day. We'll see you later.